Alrighty, guys. Welcome in. Final rounds. And as we've been saying, a lot to play for. Now, the first series makes things a little bit more understood in terms of the survival story. But the survival story isn't really a conversation with Sitaux and Vivi. So I'll just briefly touch on it. I think this should be updated now. Yes, at the moment, with Viper yet to play, Viper will be the final series against Mihai. It is Dragonstar at 6, Viper at 6. We know if Viper gets one win, Viper is safe. But the bigger story, as these players have diplomacy settings on, they don't have teams locked, guys. They do not have teams locked. So technically, they could ally each other, which obviously they're not going to do, but that's kind of hilarious. Yeah, Vivi really wants to get some wins here to stay top 3. Sitaux wants to get some wins to go first. Just to look at that one more time, Sitaux tied with Mihai at 9. Mihai upcoming against Viper. So we got a Civ we haven't really seen played that frequently this season because it's usually banned. Sitaux goes for the Chinese here. And, I mean, Chinese are typically pretty incredible when you can avoid having any idle TC time. And because you start with the fishing ship and you can get that dock up right away, when you get to the additional vills here with the Chinese, you actually can produce vills right away. You don't even have to get loom. So that's huge for the Chinese. I remember seeing Chinese played here before, and Chinese felt incredible. If there's one thing that I've been critical of with Vivi, it's been the drafting. Also, what happened here? Oh, man, Vivi kind of didn't see this gold. Oh, that's super unfortunate. Didn't see the golds, and then didn't end up placing the town center there. Not going to go back now, but basically we give the players water buffaloes, and we position them perfectly so they almost always find that TC spot. There's a reason I haven't seen a player build a TC like this all season. I think Vivi should know that, in theory, and you should just be like, all right, it's got to be here, but unfortunately just didn't see it, and now he's kind of like, well, crap. But yeah, let me just pull up the draft real quick. So it was Chinese first pick. We had 6 bans on either side. It is first pick for both of them in terms of their civs, but potentially some regret at some point for Vivi because the Chinese lead should stay there pretty consistently here. Let's see if I can remove the draft. There we go. But yeah, so Chad, I'll ask you if you've watched the games with me. What's more important on this map, water or land? I need to drink a bit of water here. What do you think? I've asked this a bunch. I have an opinion. Other people share different opinions. Someone says it depends because they're a legend. You understand. It does depend. I'm more of a lands guy. Like, you can't just fully give up on water. But we have seen games where someone has countless fishing ships with great Navy civs and great eco count. If they do not have this middle hill woodline lockdown, they have massive problems. So that is my feeling, and that's what Sitaux did very well against Viper, was he controlled the land. But it was after some water harassment too. That was actually textbook what Sitaux did against Viper. He sniped all of Viper's fish, and then he went full land. The doctor says, Hera lost from going too heavy on Navy and leaving the hill uncontested. Yeah, I mean, Hera hasn't lost. He lost, what, 3 games this season in the group stage now? He'll still be first place in his group and in the playoffs. But yeah, I was critical of Hera in that game. And I felt it was kind of proven right that you really do need to have the land control here. So, but I don't know. Vivi really likes the land. He also likes his sneaky fast castles, so I'm curious what Vivi might try. Unfortunately, if you could see my face right now, I'm like really trying to think hard. My brain is fried, but I don't actually remember if Vivi played any games on this map this season. I remember Sitaux did. If someone could maybe pull that up on Liquipedia, that would be interesting. Because just because of the weird TC situation, and also not banning Chinese, I'm kind of curious. Did Vivi actually play? Yeah, did Vivi actually play this map a lot? Vivi's just not a player I would expect to be doing a lot of prep. Vivi just kind of shows up and does his thing, which at times leads to me being very critical. But this season, he's been very adaptable in the mid game, and he's been very dangerous. Of course, starting off strong against Viper, I think, was huge for Vivi. Like, getting that 2-1 result, I think mentally just made him so much more confidence. And then you know Viper's going to play everybody else. Vivi lost this map versus Dragonstar. Ah, yes. Yes, that was where they both went forward docks. But that was... Ooh, remember, we had that balance change too, right? That was before the water changed. So, it's kind of different now. Barracks for Vivi. It's so funny to me that they could technically ally. They have no clue. Guys, we have it in the handbook and everything of what settings you need to have. And we even have the admins usually join in and double check the lobbies. But there's so many different settings you got to look at. No one ever looks to see if the teams are locked. But I doubt they're going to go for an allied victory here. The T90 is champion nerf in here? Yeah. This is on the current patch. So we've still seen a lot of the civs banned, though. But this is on the most recent patch. It will be. Now, Sitau's walled in a little box, which I like, which protects your wood lines a bit more from pressure. He's on the way up. We've got 2 docks with 10 fishing ships. Vivi's definitely going for the land approach, making the militia. Again, Vivi's base is just kind of a weird setup. This is very far from what you would want. And already 500 resources collected behind because of being up against the Chinese. The Chinese are just so frequently banned, right? And Vivi, with 6 bans, did not ban them, despite Sitaux getting the first pick. So, in my opinion, I think most high-level players would agree as well. I just think that is something that, when you game plan, you should not allow to happen. But hopefully for Vivi, he can snag some wins, go to playoffs, and then lesson learned. Then it's a best of 5, and then you can keep that in mind. Here he comes, though. Vivi was kind of like the original tower rush player, the original forward player. He didn't actually see much. He built a lot of outposts. I think he knows the villagers must be there. Man-at-Arms is on the way. The Chinese town center vision change was crazy. Look how far away you could see the army here. Meanwhile, Vivi doesn't have any clue that that's where the TC is exactly. Almost loses the man-at-arm, and now sees it. And we'll go for fishing lines behind this. We'll add an additional dock. It's fast castle. I'm guessing crossbowman for Sitaux. The Sitaux does see that tower, but he does still have this wood line. So it's not a lot, but yeah, I kind of like this. I think dropping the tower is nice. We've seen losing these wood lines be just too strong, too difficult to deal with. So nicely played. Forward dock is down here from Vivi. Sitaux has spotted that, but we do have a Hulk running through to snipe some fish. And the tower goes up for Sitaux to force Vivi away. Vivi doesn't have enough stone to build a new tower now. You have the economy lead. You just got to hold that eco lead and then go for the army controlling castle age if you're Sitaux. And so far, that's exactly what he's been able to do. Stone walls. He's under pressure. But he hasn't been broken yet. Nice resource balance from Vivi behind this, I have to say. He will also go to stone for another tower. And he's actually going to sneak in here and try and complete this tower, but Sitaux realizes it and garrisons again. It's so much more micro than you can really notice right now because there's still the water. I think having the houses and outposts in the middle of this map to give you vision and obstruct your opponent long term is really nice. And I think the man-at-arms taking down houses has given some value too. This will be the second time that Sitaux gets housed. Has to build another house while he also needs to build ships, while he also needs to garrison. The Hawks kill 2 fishing ships. Nice blocking here from Vivi. This dock just puts you under so much more pressure. You always have to respect that there could be a new ship coming through. It's so annoying. And Vivi didn't really go for any ranged units until now. I kind of like that. Because you can't do all 3. You can't go for skirmishers, man-at-arms, and hawks. That's just too much. And we'll build another tower now because he gets the stone for it. But he is to be careful. He should be aware that there's some army from Sitaux because Sitau's got the range. And Sitau's in castle age now. Again, this defensive style is even stronger now that you can garrison the fish. And for that reason, I really like the risk of the fast castle for Sitaux. He'll go for medium warships to upgrade his navy. He goes for crossbowmen to push on land. And now we have to look back at Vivi's home and think, like, is he ready for any pressure there? Sitaux still doesn't have the numbers of ships, but he does have nice HP, and he does have the strength now, and now the crossbowman advance forward. And oh man, there's just so many areas Vivi's going to have to protect, and he doesn't have an army to deal with this. His skirms are on the back. Still pressuring on the water. Sitau's done such a good job to keep his fish alive. Snipes the 2 villagers there with the crossbowman. Well played, Sitaux. Barely has the food income for Bod Canero, but that might change because his ships are upgraded and clearing this up on the backside. A 10-3 KD for Sitaux. Yo, Braco, what's up? Welcome in. Thank you for the prime. And Vivi still hasn't clicked up to Castle Age. Resources collected has just hit the point where it's even, but the game has also just hit the point where Sitaux is the one being, like, basically winning on water and on land. I think Vivi, he just didn't do enough damage here. Villager on the shoreline will go down. Fishing ships are actually going down to the crossbowman as well. More crossbowmen are still moving around from Sitaux. He'll completely defend himself on water. And if these hawks move into the fishing eco, Vivi will have nothing there. Amazing start from Sitaux. The Sitau's crossbowmen will be coming from different angles here. And for Vivi, he needs to mark it big time. Without these water buffalo, I think he's dead because he needs to buy food otherwise. But oh, man, it's just such an uncomfortable position to be in right now. T90, isn't this a good time for Sitaux to switch to War Galley? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because War Galleys, I like if you're committing to like 8 to 10 more boats. Actually, he has 1 War Galley here, funnily enough. So yeah, technically you're up against Hawks. And so you might want to make a counter ship. But with a ranged ship like that, you do need a lot of them. And you can't really like commit big numbers to the water here when you need to focus on the land. I think continuing with Hawks when you have the superior Hawk numbers and upgrades is fine. And I would say a Siege Workshop more than anything. Because your opponent's playing skirms. If Vivi gets to Castle Age, if Vivi can upgrade these skirms, you could have some issues. Yeah, that's kind of another warning sign. You're like, all right, maybe I need to mix in something else. He's actually going for Lancers, though. Lancers seem pretty nice, though. I mean, it only costs wood. It only costs gold. And you have enough food income to get at least the first armor upgrade. I mean, Fire Lancers, I talked about it on stream yesterday. I think the unit's too strong, and I think it's attached to civilizations that already have insane bonuses. That's part of the issue with the Fire Lancer, but really good in low economy scenarios. Still think a Siege Workshop would add a lot of value to take down the buildings and to maybe pressure the towers, but there's not a lot of positives for Vivi at the moment, but he at least is on the way to Castle Age. The eco's looking pretty awkward. He doesn't have much army to defend, and ugh. I mean, Sitau's played it perfect. Vivi has honestly given it a really good go. I felt like the mix of aggression could work on a different day, but Sitau's just playing too good. Someone asking, why would you not make Hawks? They seem like the only option in Feudal. Well, if it's just a straight water battle, you should go galleys against the Hawks there, right? But that's not what this map is. A hybrid map, you're going to want to go for like low numbers and the numbers that have the highest effect. So I can understand why someone would think, because of how water operates now, that you would want to go war galleys here. But it just doesn't suit the multitasking aspect of the map. So yeah, I like the fact that Sitaux has stayed on Hawks. I love how he prioritized water just enough before shifting into land. And there's the Siege Workshop now, where he'll now go for a rocket cart. I think Vivi, it's game 1. The games are really valuable here. He needs to stack up wins to confirm playoffs. He wants to just get warmed up. But I don't think he's feeling like he has many good chances right now. He gets to Castle Age to go for Elite Skirm, which is great. But then half of his skirmishers get cleared up here. He could barely take wood. He still doesn't have a market. He's going to lose his dock and could potentially lose all of his fish. Sitau's not giving him any chances here. And Vivi's just sitting here like, what could I have tried? What could I have done? And the answer is do a little bit more damage with either attack. needed to snipe the fish, needed to do more damage with the man-at-arms. Part of this, and it feels a little silly because, like, obviously the players got to play the game, but part of this is also the draft, right? Like, so Vivi made no mistakes, and he was behind by 1,000 resources collected because Chinese are insanely good on this map. So, I think for Vivi, he has his tendencies to kind of underdraft, and I think a lot of that, too, is the way he sees the strength of civilizations. Likes to pick Byzantines a lot super early in a draft. I love Byzantines. I think they're very strong. Don't think other people would agree that they're quite as strong as Vivi thinks they are. And Sitaux wins with Chinese. He stomped him in the first game. And Sitaux, pushing for first place position, gets the first win. That was well played. Honestly, perfect. Just perfect. You defend from like 5 different areas to the start. You still make it to Castle Age. You do that perfect combo of water on land. Water and land, sorry. But then you end up with the full focus on land to control the woodlines. That's exactly what you would have wanted there if you're Sitaux. So, a 2-to-1 KD. Big confidence boost for Sitaux. He's probably like, let's send it. But where I'm concerned for Sitaux, if he needs 3 wins, is just the maps. Right? Because you want you want your home map to be like that, where you can have that exact same multitasking pressure situation. Instead, we're going to have Costa Rica and Zimbabwe. I feel like Vivi's really dangerous on those maps. So we'll see. All right, game number 2. So we'll see how much time I have to say thank you and answer some questions about YouTube. And hey, the players, guys, they can't ally now. That's nice. They checked that setting. But again, reminder, Sitaux needs to win 3-0 to lock up first place. If he does not win 3-0, Mihai can steal first place from him. And also, Vivi needs wins to secure the 3rd place position and go into the playoffs because Viper's going to be on the hunt in the final series today. And the map is Zimbabwe. We've got the animals down here. And so I'm not sure if I will be able to answer the questions yet because we have to see, will we have shenanigans in the Dark Age? You always have that one rhino that is kind of your free and easy rhino. But both players know about that free and easy rhino, and so they will go and try and block the opponents in most cases. But look at Sitaux with the quick walls. That's crazy. Those palisade walls have to be perfectly placed. Villager hasn't taken a hit yet. And now Vivi is doing kind of the old school trick with the house de-aggro. And Vivi's going to get the rhino as well. There should be no issues for Sitaux. Sitaux has picked the Georgians, which I think are really nice for the start, but don't normally see Georgians on these types of maps. They don't get bombard cannon, which can be valuable. I mean, their military can be very strong, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Burgundians are definitely the more common pick here. All right, Stray Windast, are you happy with the results from streaming on YouTube? Yeah, I mean, when you're streaming, you want to have as many viewers as possible, of course. But also, I want people who watch regardless to just have a better viewing experience. And I think the YouTube offers that for some. There will be some Twitch viewers who are like, my experience is perfectly fine. But depending on where people are from, where they're watching, they might be using a TV or, I don't know, a toaster or something. You don't know. YouTube's typically a little bit more consistent there. The risk of streaming on YouTube, typically, and I'll make a video on this after TTL, but streaming on YouTube is poor for video performance. It can hurt your video performance. So it's like there's a pro, you get more viewers, but it hurts your videos. In this case, I haven't been uploading my videos as much because I've been doing TTL, so that's fine for me. That's acceptable for me. But what I'm still going to look at afterwards is the extras channel, those uploads. How are the views on that? Is if there's a significant drop, I'm just going to kind of compare whatever I have after the season, and then we'll see. But yeah, so far from what I know and what I've been seeing, I'm happy with it. So, all right, so Sitaux's here. Vivi's also here. And Vivi's going to go for 1 elephant. Now, you can't do the house trick on that little river, guys. You can't build on that because it's water. So this is a dangerous situation. Also, no loom for Vivi, and oh my goodness, Villager's dead. Villager's dead. That's so good from Sitaux. It's just so risky, man. It's so freaking risky. And I'm so shocked that people keep taking the risks. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, Sitaux now has a decision because his scout is weak. Vivi's scout's still strong enough where Vivi could block. So this villager's just chilling down here. She's been ordered to bring home some meat. And she's like, technically I'm going to do that with this rhino. So, or elephant. Or not elephant, sorry, zebra. Animal names are hard. Yeah, but now that Sitau's scout is super weak, Vivi could get even more greedy. So, yeah, Vivi's gonna... See, that's surprising to me. You come all the way out here and you just take one when there's other elephants around. But yeah, Vivi's not the crazy quick waller type, so he's probably like, all right. Early eco upgrades with Burgundians is always good. And then there goes Sitaux. No loom. And is bringing in one elephant. Just one. But if Vivi had the scout there, Vivi could easily kill that scout from Sitaux and block, and that could be a dead villager, so... Oh, God. Oh, God. Vivi, careful. Oh, God. The gate's now closed. Oh, no. Open the gate. Ah! Ah! Get it! It's really awkward, guys. There we go. Gets the elephant. No problem. I think Sitaux is fine. So, remember, you get 2 boars inside your base. And then they both have had additional 2 animals from the outside. So, that's quite a bit of food. Plus, you have the water buffalo. There's actually zebra that you can push in as well. So, if you really know the details of the map, you should recognize, come over here and push this in with your scout. Which Sitaux is doing. Now, Vivi... Vivi... Wait, Vivi lost Vivi lost another Vill! Vivi lost another Vill to the elephant. Oh my god. Dude, this is just so Vivi, guys. You don't know what you're going to get week to week. He's just... Sometimes he's on, he's playing well, and then other times just a little bit sloppy. Oh, man. Like, wins are so valuable for Vivi. He's had such a good season. He could realistically go playoffs and be dangerous, but you got to get some wins here. 2 villagers down is painful. I was laughing because I think he's going to be confused seeing the house there from Sitaux. Let's try this again. I don't know how much faith I have in him now. Oh, God. Oh, man. There's 2 types of people. There's the Sitaux type who's never going to lose the Vill, and there's no doubt about it. And then there's Vivi who's just like, man, I can't keep up with these kids. Like, de-aggroing with the house against 2 animals is tough. Just block the elephants. There you go. Block the elephants. Escort it. It should be fine, honestly. Like, okay, I take it back. I have so much confidence in Vivi. If Vivi loses one more villager to wildlife this game, I will give 20 subs to the stream. But don't get excited, because Vivi's going to play it perfect. Vivi, do not block yourself. Vivi's going to play it perfect. That's perfect. Okay, gate is open. Elephants are coming through. Guys, you can even just kill the elephants with the TC now. So you should never lose a Vill, because it's so easy now. So you can just do that, and there's no downside. Yeah, there we go. I was actually sweating there. Luckily for Vivi, it's a civ with nice eco bonus, and you've had that. Also, the additional scout HP is nice, but then again, Sitau's Georgians, and that scout will slowly start to regen a little bit. I think Sitaux just... with the previous game and this as well, he definitely pays attention to some of those tiny details. Like the fact that he's come out for these 3 zebras, he knows this map well. But what's his game plan? What's he going to make here with the Georgians? Feels like he's just going to boom. Technically could go monks or something. Vivi and Sitaux on the way to Castle Age similar times. If you want the TCs on the woodlines, you'd probably TC in the back here. And Vivi's currently scouting the back. You know, it feels like Vivi doesn't have a lot of flat ground back here. There's definitely still TC spots, but there, you see that minor difference in the spacing? Could be kind of annoying. That would actually be really bad if he couldn't place a TC, but I'm seeing some areas where he can. Long term, the stone and gold in the north is always the key. But in the early game, it's normally about the relics that are in the corners and on the sides. And the scouts can go out there to control that. Sitaux is coming out again. Another villager. Still no loom. And Sitaux wants to bring in these elephants. I mean, the more elephant you get, the more you delay your farms. The more you delay your farms, the more wood you have to spend on other things. So here we go. Whoops, sorry, misclick. It's actually a bit more difficult now than it was in Dark Age because your scout's even faster, which you think is a good thing, but it's easy to misclick it because it moves so speedily now. But yeah, no doubt in my mind, Sitaux's just playing too clean. Second and third town center at home. See what I mean, though? Like, you can easily just click in front of your Vil by mistake. But nice weaving, nice blocking. And Vivi drops TC number 2. Vivi drops TC number 3 as well. Already has good eco upgrades, and Vivi does not know about this at all. This is kind of fun, though. Like, having... Uh-oh. Oh, God! Okay, the scout helped. Oh, no, we lost one. Oh, shoot. We lost one. Well, all right. You know, that's how it happens sometimes, guys. Sometimes the elephants escape. And at the end of the day, that's still fine for Sitaux. It's kind of nice to have these big boomy maps with the tiny things to talk about in the early game. This map is kind of perfect for me because I already love to break down these tiny intricacies and tell some stories and make some jokes, and now we've got this. It's been a very nice map. But we had to big time balance the hunt. It wasn't always the case where there was that one rhino, which was always accessible. But yeah, 3 town centers now. And it'll be monks towards the corners. I'm assuming Vivi knows this because it's his home map. But he hasn't actually scouted any of the corners to find the relics yet. He knows about this one, which is actually right next to Sitaux's house. Smart detail, though. Heal up your scout, especially when the Georgian scout auto-heals. And there goes the scout for Sitaux. Will Vivi see that? And Vivi sees it. And that's really nice if his scout dies. Oh, man, I felt like that scout should have died, but a scout for Vivi's just going to come over here. Sitaux might think that Vivi has made a stable because that, to him, seems like a fresh scout. But obviously, if you know your opponent has the monastery, you also know it could have just been healed up. Vivi does seem to know the map. Okay, running directly to the corner for one reason only, and that's because the relics are typically down there. And that relic has just been spotted. Well played. And Sitaux goes to the hill. Sitaux tries to bait Vivi inside of his base there, I think. But Vivi does not take the bait. All right. Just thinking about this for a second. So, Viper's at 6 wins, right? He plays next. Vivi is 7. And Vivi should have the tiebreak over Viper. So if Viper ever ties Vivi, Vivi is ahead of him. So Vivi snagging this win would put him at 8. Viper could then win 2-1 against Mihai and still not go playoffs, correct? So yeah, just one win for Vivi would be so nice here. If he gets completely swept, then Viper could pass him today if Viper's locked in. Another town center from Vivi. Nice little spot between the stones and the golds. And both players still have their monks just sneaking over to get the relics. No monks have died so far. The only thing that has killed anything in this game has been elephants. So. But resources collected is higher for Sitaux. The churches in the eco increase the efficiency. Also, obviously didn't lose the villagers. Ooh, and nice snipe there from Sitaux. Sitaux ends up killing the one monk. Can he kill the next one? Oh, wow. He kills 2 monks. I mean, that's value right there. That's not bad at all. Unfortunate to lose the scout, but still, that scout has done a lot for him this game. And Vivi's super heavy on stone. Sitaux sees the town center, and Sitaux's like, wait a second. Why are you there? He probably doesn't think he should allow that. And now he's going to switch into some army. But, like, is Georgian Cav Archer the play here? It's not horrible. But you don't get thumb rings, so long-term it feels kind of brutal. You do get Parthian tactics. You do get good blacksmith upgrades. Vivi's going to get revenge and kills the monk there. Vivi's monk is sadly looking for the relic that's no longer here. There's also the relic that was up here Sitaux's going to get. So I think Sitaux might end up getting 4 of the 6. And then maybe Vivi's got one coming home. I can't tell. But Vivi will drop the Siege Workshop. Does Vivi see the range at all? I don't think he does. No, he does. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so he sees the range, and so you should expect that there's going to be some Cav Archers from Sitaux. And he also sees this villager, which is probably just for an outpost. Sitaux will go for the quick walls, and Vivi's getting the blocks, and the quick walls happen. Well played. But that should tell Vivi that army's coming. This scout's been critical to see the archer ranges, and now you also see the cav archer. And so Vivi needs to get the castle up as quickly as possible. Obviously, he doesn't have a lot more than just the monks, that one monk there, but it was just one cav archer that he saw, and there he goes for the castle. That is a bold castle. Look at him walk further and further up the hill. Sitaux, he knows there's probably just one or two monks. He wants to snipe that, which he'll do. Vivi, take him the other way. Don't take him to your castle. Take him the other way. Bro, dude. Maybe if the scout ran to the left, Sitaux would have been distracted. Castle's at 80%. There's conversions coming in, and there's cav archers. If 3 vills get converted, and the CA are here as well, this might be denied. Okay, it goes up. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Castle goes up. It's actually a very good position for the castle. The units coming out of the castle are dangerous for Sitaux. And that position, when we're talking Imperial Age and trebuchets, is critical. A hill bonus is going to be everything here. But, I don't know. From Sitau's perspective, the military you're banking on right now doesn't cost a great deal of food, so you can still spam cav archers. You still have enough gold for now. That conversion was huge. That kill on the monk was huge. I mean, these engagements are awesome. And, yeah, he just needs to go imp right now. He needs a castle, he needs to click up to imp, and he needs to go for trebs. But where is he going with these vills? I think he's scared to run up the hill, and he feels like he's got the potential to maybe make it crazy over here. Vivi losing the unit to conversion there, and thus losing the scorpions to it was pretty painful. Oh my god, you're actually castling there? I mean, that's pretty awkward castle, not gonna lie. There is a siege workshop right there. There's a scorpion now, but I think it's probably similar to before. He's got enough army to defend it. He will lose some cav archers, but the castle will go up. And Vivi, he's spending his food and his gold on his units right now. Kind of worried for Vivi's economy, honestly. Sitaux might be able to just ignore the hill for a while. How much gold does he actually have? He's got 800 gold there. If he knows the map, he should know there's gold on this side. Also, there's nothing to stop him from maybe sneaking a town center up over here, too. So, and then it could make some Manaspa, mix it in against the Coustilier. Could be very strong. I don't know, man. I feel like for Vivi, he's got a position on the map that he should be pretty happy with, but he'll be under a lot of pressure if his opponent is in the Imperial Age. He's dropping another castle? Wow, and he's making rams here, too, so he wants to go full castle age. I think he needs to hide the rams, though. You can't move out with 1 ram. You need to wait for 5. But he's going... Yeah, he'll stay in castle age. More Coustilier will be spamming from the castles. I know it feels like Vivi doesn't know he's up, but I think Vivi does, and Vivi's just like, I can't go imp now because I'll just lose I'll just lose my castles to trebuchets. This is a unit that could be really good in castle age versus imp scenarios because of the charge attack. And like right there, you see that quickly the monks die. Vivi loves this unit. That unit's so annoying to deal with if you're Sitaux. And Sitaux's going to make trebs, right? Well, the trebs can just get sniped by the Coustilier as well, so... The Sitaux doesn't have that many cav archers. He only has 13. And he is limited with golds compared to Vivi, as Vivi will build castle number 3. It's a really big deal. Rams are expensive. It's a really big deal that these rams are going to eject early. This was not the timing he wanted. But now he might need to commit to it and just bring all of his military here. See what Sitaux does with this treb, too. Because, like, if he ejects that treb right now, the treb could be exposed. But your units need to be underneath the castle, because if they're not underneath the castle kills you. We'll see. Does the castle stay up? I think if that's 5 rams with consistent army support, the castle definitely goes down. But it's only 4 now. But honestly, I think Sitaux's kind of struggling. The Manaspa are not attacking the rams, and he's going to lose the castle. I expected a better reaction there from Sitaux, to be honest. I thought the Manaspa would be there for the rams. Well played, Vivi. Vivi's still got gold. Vivi's still got stone. Vivi can build more castles. And now Sitaux, importantly, cannot push the castles with many trebuchets. And here comes the spam. It's exactly what we talked about with Vivi. Like, as long as you don't kill him in early Castle Age or early Imp, he is a beast. And he can commit super hard. What a choke point there for Sitaux, though, with the CA. I love that. Like, most of the units are bumping for Vivi and they can't engage, but the Rams are going to take down the house. The Rams can maybe move after the Treb. The Treb might go down, and Vivi is dropping another castle to protect the gold over here. Rams are kind of, sort of doing something. I can't really tell. And Vivi is on the way to the Imperial Age. At the very least, Vivi gets to save his castle. And Vivi's castle here is going to go up as well. Man, what a game. I think those Rams did way more than I ever expected. The Rams pushed the trebuchets back. The Rams took down a castle. And Vivi's eco has had time to cook this entire time behind this. And the fact that he's been able to get away with this castle too, which makes it so much more difficult for Sitaux to ever push up this hill, makes it so tough. Yeah, Sitaux's got, just counting the gold, he's got the 4 relics, obviously. He's got those 2 tiles of gold, and I think that's it. But he is going to make a very wise switch. Georgians do get Halb. So getting enough gold to go for Halb with the CA makes sense against Vivi's spam. And he clearly realizes he just can't take the hill, and that's far too difficult, so he's going to still try to go to Vivi's base. But I don't know, man. Having 1 Treb, it's just going to take forever, and you always need to have your army there, because if Vivi ever gets any units freed up, he's going to run right towards that trebuchet. You could tell Vivi isn't really sure. He wanted to stop this castle, and then he realized he can't. And now I think he's gearing up to go after that Treb, but Sitaux has his army ready, and Sitaux's getting Halb in 30 seconds. Vivi needs to raid, maybe. Yeah, he's looking over here now, hoping for raids. That's a good area to raid. At the same time, went in for the Treb, but saw that Sitaux was waiting. So he's going to move to the side. If Vivi can get archer ranges and play skirms and hand cannons, I think he's got the better situation. But getting to that is still a long way away. Sitaux is walled on the left side, so there's not a lot of damage to be done there. He garrisoned there, so the TC killed that. Another castle from Vivi, though, and Vivi is in Imp to get more upgrades. But I don't know. These units are pretty expensive, and Sitaux has trash units, and Sitaux also has a healthy amount of cav archers. The big thing for me is, can Sitaux get gold? And can Sitaux, can he get trebuchets out again, right? He's just been on this 1 Treb for so long. In hindsight, though, saving that Treb was really well played. And he will continue to save the Treb. And he's not getting distracted. Like, Vivi keeps trying to raid him and just pull him out of position, but he just is always super focused on protecting the trebuchets. Amazing for Vivi, though, right? Like, Vivi is like, fine, I've got stone, so I'll just repair. And I'm going to take this castle down with my own Trebs. Loop my units all the way back home. Realistically, I think should get chemistry and should be dropping archer ranges. But he's got so many golden stone areas up here. He's even going for a Treb over at this position. So yeah, castle will go down for Sitaux. All of his Halbs run into the castle fire here just because he's so distracted. And as he tries to do damage here, like, Vivi's got castles everywhere. It's really difficult for him. And honestly, Vivi could just use the Trebs against the trebuchets from Sitaux, and then maybe he still keeps his castle up. The problem remains for Sitaux. He will run out of gold. He will find more gold over here. But is that really the position you want to protect on this map long term? And now it's elite Coustilier as well for Vivi. Castle's still not down. He's getting hoardings as well for even more HP. And poor Sitaux can't do anything about these Trebs because of the walls. And his army has to stay there to protect. And if his army is there to protect, he's going to lose everything in the north. Man, dude. Vivi just staying in the game. Fighting so hard. You thought he would have lost castles. You thought he would have died against Halbs. But he's finding the area, using the mobility. Look at him try, though. This is so smart from Sitaux. Sitaux's walling it up. But Vivi's going to bait him back in towards the castle fire there. It's still amazing from Sitaux because it's so easy to just instantly lose the game there if you send your Halbs to the north. So he knows he needs to wall it up. But yeah, you need Halbs there, man. Cav archers are not good enough anymore. And Vivi, he's like, oh, your Halbs are going where? Your Halbs are going... Okay, well, he pulls back. But Sitaux is coming back anyways. This raid is also being checked with some repairs as well from Vivi. And Vivi's trebuchets have finally taken down at least one of the trebuchets from Sitaux. And these Custilier are just eating, man. You can only make halbs until the opponent makes a switch. And the second the opponent makes a switch, I think it's going to be over here. It might not even get to that point, guys. The halbs are getting chewed up. Sitau's game position is awful, of course, as we know. And the Trebs are going to get sniped, and Vivi gets a win. Great performance from Vivi. That game was so Vivi. So Vivi! 2 villagers dead to Rhinos and Dark Age. And then, how much later to Imp? Like, you know, casual 6 minutes late to the Imperial Age, and he gets the job done. That is such a Vivi game. If he could play to unique units, Cav unique units, he's an absolute animal. And well played. I really liked the Rams. I liked the recognition that he needed to raid. I love the amount of repairing he did. This castle took 27k damage this game, and it never went down. Like, that's incredible. And it's also not something we really look at, but to balance your eco like he did is not so easy. Yes, you have access to the stone and gold, but you also need to have the farming eco as well. And Vivi was able to do all of that. And more of every resource except wood. For Sitaux, I think he needed the army a little bit earlier. Like, the logic for him was to get the military to block this castle spot. And then once that castle got up, it was always kind of tricky. I think it was actually the correct call to try and push Vivi's main base. But losing that first castle was kind of painful because it took him super long time to get more trebuchets. So, Coast Arena. Ah, what a map. When this tournament is over, I will, of course, miss TTL. I will miss the daily streams. Yes. Not that I still won't do a lot of stuff, but, you know, I will look back on TTL with fondness, right? And there will be some maps I'll be like, all right, I had enough of that one. But Coast Arena, I'm going to miss. I freaking love this map. I don't know why the players are saying yes to each other right now. I'm guessing we missed some pregame chat where there was some good luck, have fun. It's like maybe GLHF, and then Vivi said yes. And now Sitau's saying yes as well. That's my guess. Sitau's gone for the Italians. Lovely map. Or sorry, lovely Civ. Lovely Civ for the map. Super flexible on the water, which there obviously is. And then also very flexible with what they can do on land, too. So I think the cheaper Imperial Age is a huge, huge deal. Because so often we see lots of rushes to Imp with monk rushes, like trebuchets and stuff. Armenians, I kind of feel like they're great here, too. Mule carts are helpful first off. But then you also get good navy. And then you also have great monks. I also like composite bowmen a lot for these types of maps. So, yeah, I would say that I'm guessing Vivi plays more so monks, but it's like you're just going to completely give up water. You probably can't. Just tough decision to make. I think, though, if you're going to completely give up water, I actually think it's really strong if you play immediate double monastery and siege workshop. I think it's insane here because your opponent's gold is always on the front. And in theory, they're going to have food economy because of fish. But if you just hit them before they can ever get to Lycav or something, it could be a game changer. Scout gets hit there by Vivi, which is not what he wants. And Sitaux... Sitaux microing. And they're going to go their separate ways. Greensleen says, is there a way to submit these maps into the ranked pool? That would really be on the devs. I've given this feedback internally before, so as a tournament host, I think it'd be cool to integrate the maps into ranked when the tournament is happening or when the tournament ends, right? Like you guys would maybe like to play them. The issue is, I think I have to submit everything 4 months in advance. That's what I was told last. 4 months! 4! Which is insane. And then it's like 4 months before the tournament begins would have been... The tournament began back in like January. That would have taken me all the way back to like August, right? So I'd be happy with doing that, but I think that is just a little too extreme. Technically, the devs could also just snag the maps and do it themselves. But I think the devs are always a little bit resistant to using anyone else's maps in the game. Which is why, like, for example, in tournaments, we have a map called Cross. Well, they created their own version of it. They call it Four Lakes, right? It's like the same concept, but they just made their own. Used to be Bedouins. Now there's African clearing. So I think what they don't want is someone being like, yo, Microsoft stole my map or whatever. So there'd have to be some conversations and all that. And so as you could tell, there's like a lot that goes into it. And then they just end up being like, you know what? Maybe not. So, but if you want to play these maps, though, Community Cup coming up. We've got 250 people signed up already. All different ELO brackets. We have the TTL5 command if you want to join the Discord. We also have the image below the stream. You can just click that and join up. Again, your ELO bracket, playing TTL settings with, other people from the community. Check it out. And signups close basically when TTL ends in a week. So, and if you ever wanted to just play maps you're watching in a tournament, you can just search for the tournament name in the mod center, and you can always download the maps, by the way. It just wouldn't be in ranked in this case. T90, sorry, the devs were too busy adding voice chat and enabling it by default. Oh, that's so harsh. I mean, what's funny, I probably shouldn't say this because we have so much sponsorship from World's Edge, but it's just a joke. So they ended up saying that it was a bug. Did you see that? They said it was a bug. They said fix the bug where the voice chat is auto-enabled for everyone. And I thought to myself, was it a bug? Or did they think it was a feature and then they realized after the fact that people were really upset by that? I don't know. I really don't know. We can only speculate. We can only speculate. But no. Yeah, sign up for the Community Cup. It'll be fun. Last time we had a bunch, like so many people make lots of friends. It goes beyond just hanging out with chat and, spamming emotes and bonding in that way. It's a fun way to play the game. And like personally, AoE is my full-time job, right? So I like live and breathe this game. Personally, I find mixed maps, drafting and like coming up with strats for unique maps, just a whole nother world of Age of Empires. It's so fun. Ranked is cool, right? ELO's fun too, but like, dude, community tournaments, playing some sets, great times. So, main difference here between the builds is Sitaux is going to be up significantly faster. I don't know what for yet. It could be a bunch of different things, but certainly going fast castle. The fact that he has loom makes me think that he might be leaving his base at some point, going to the middle. For Vivi, it's still likely a fast castle. Just up a little bit later, which is, of course, fine. You have a couple more workers there. Not really sure what they're going to go for yet. T90, if I sign up, can I pick Celts for every civ? No, you'd have to do the same thing as the players do in TTL. So you would do a civ and map draft. So you wouldn't be able to play Celts every time. Also, I didn't know that I didn't know that Huang was watching right now. It's interesting. I thought that was Frederick, but I must be misreading something. Apparently that's Huang instead of Frederick. Interesting. All right. Yeah, that would be unfortunate for people who play the same civ all the time. Not going to be an option. Also, you probably shouldn't say in Twitch chat what civ you're obsessed with if there's a draft. Some people do their homework, man. Scout fight. Vivi takes it. Oh, man, he did not do the math. He did not do the math. I mean, earlier in the game, there was one additional hit from Sitaux, right? We remember that, even though we've been talking about community tournament and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what was going through his mind in that moment, but he tried to bail at the last second, and obviously it didn't work out. And now Sitaux's got the map control. The thing is, we're likely going to see some monks that can heal up those scouts. And the bigger thing, of course, is Sitaux is already on stone, which Vivi could have seen if Vivi had the scouts. So Sitaux's plan, obviously, castle drop makes it so much more inviting now that your opponent can't even see it's coming. And when you know that that's where the gold's positioned, it can be very strong. The T90, are you signing up? Yeah, I'm going to play. I'm going to play in the Community Cup. It'll be fun. I enjoyed it last time. People got super sweaty against me last time I played, which I guess is expected, but oh my freaking god. Found out later they're doing like practice sets and stuff, having whole strategies just to embarrass me. But yeah, I had a good time. This is an incredible build from Sitaux. We're at the 14-minute mark in the game, and he's building a castle in his opponent's face. Like, crazy. And I just love it. Like, you need this type of energy on this map. It's not like he hasn't played into a little bit of Navy as well to protect the fishing ships. And Vivi, Vivi's leaving. What? Huh? Hello? What? Vivi is leaving. In like his opponent can see he's leaving, and Sitaux is just chasing him down. I don't know what Vivi was doing there, but okay, he's gonna go for a church. The escapees are kind of important here because now you can maybe steal some relics. Remember that. I mean, that might end up being a big deal because now these villagers could, in theory, take some stone and gold out here. But yeah, and a warrior priest is on the way to snag some of those relics. That was wild. Again, that's just so Vivi. Like, Vivi just does things and you're kind of like, huh? But now that I look at it, it's not that bad. You got 2 churches. You could take the gold with the mule cart. You do lose that relic. It does still also have some navy, and both players are going to upgrade their navy now. But pretty soon, Sitaux can be into his opponent's base. Vivi needs to be prepared for that. I guess Vivi also feels like he's going to make it through and get into Sitaux's base. The warrior priest is looking around for relics, but the Genoese crossbowmen are out, which should be pretty good against a couple of villagers and warrior priests. And Sitaux still got the gold income here. And I'll water Sitaux falls back, and we'll make a couple boats. Is going to make a war galley. Vivi will eventually make it through this wall, and then could drop more churches here. So it seems like the plan is to just a church rush. And now you got Sitaux in. He doesn't know what Vivi's base looks like. Vivi has a couple villagers over here Sitaux is running to. Action on the water. Sitaux is holding, I believe. Here, Vivi could actually garrison his dock, which would fire arrows onto the Genoese and the scout. But it doesn't seem to be doing as much as he was hoping for, and that's some good damage from Sitaux. I like it. When Sitaux sees value, he just goes for it. No hesitation. And it's always on the back of a really nice build as well, right? Like, the timing on this attack is so fast. Vivi tries to get some counter damage here. Sitaux garrisons a little late, so he does lose some fishing ships. And we'll lose some navy here as well, to be honest. And he will also have someone into his base soon, but never mind, actually. He dropped the tower there. And the Genoese crossbowman and the scout and the monk and everything are still doing damage here. This is really nice damage. The fact that Sitaux is also defended with this tower is really nice. I think Vivi's plan, he's clearly struggling. He felt like he was going to be able to at least break in. Wow, Sitaux even converts the ship there too. And he also clears up the navy over here. What does Vivi do now? He's basically off of all golds because the oysters on the back were his gold income. Got pushed off of that. Woodline's not looking great. These villagers are all super idle inside of the churches. Sitaux has only 2 relics. There should be another relic out there. The Armenians get a relic for free when they build their church. Kind of funny, but Hawks do very little against archers, so Genoese crossbowmen against the Hawks worked really well there. And what's Vivi's plan with these vills? Where's he going? Imagine if he actually broke through there. Okay, he's dropping another church. Yeah, he really wants in. The churches do construct very quickly. And the warrior priests can kill the Genoese if the Genoese aren't careful. So awkward to have that water and land mix. And the main difference now is that Sitaux has an entry into Vivi's base, and Vivi doesn't have an entry into Sitaux's base. I'm so sorry, misclick. Finally, Vivi's going for some siege. It feels like he's been hoping that the churches were going to get him through, and Sitaux just always added the stone wall when he needed to. And Sitaux is actually bringing even more to stone as well, so maybe planning on another castle. That's a lot of army from Sitaux, moving towards the wood line. If he sits in the minimum range of the church, I don't know what Vivi does here. Yeah, like, Vivi, I guess, can move the mule cart and still take resources, but yeah, the church arrow fire is never enough in this situation. Unless you build another one. Okay. Well, Remember, the devs nerfed these, so to get additional range on the churches, you now need to research fletching and bodcanero. Before, the range was just kind of attached to the church itself, so this is a lot of idle time. Yeah, I think this is Sitau's game to lose now. He's still taking the stone here, which is perfect. He's still defending on water, which is perfect. Vivi's eco is just completely idle. And ever since his castle went up, Vivi did something creative. Like, he tried to church rush. He tried to do counter damage instead of reacting the whole game. But it has not been enough. And as he's ramming to get into Sitau's base, Sitaux will just drop a castle here. As Sitau's also bringing in siege to make a push for the town center. The churches did kill all the Genoese crossbowmen. That's a lot of kills. They did just get 13 kills. If you lose 13 military and I still feel like you're in a good spot, I think that says a lot about the situation in the game. Over time, the castle will just shoot down all these churches. And here comes Vivi. 7 villager and 1 ram counterattack. And 2 warrior priests inside of the ram. Okay, there's the church. Here, Vivi used villagers randomly and took down the mangonel. Okay. And here, his church... Oh, his church goes up. All right. A nicely positioned Genoese crossbowman behind the woodline for Sitaux, though. This church doesn't immediately affect him, right? It's not actually an immediate issue. A couple war galleys being added by Vivi now. This result will make it very interesting going into the final set for Mihai and Viper. Nothing will be confirmed. We will not know who's in first place, who's in... We don't know any of the placements except for last, right? Going into the final series. Which is sick. Every time I look at Vivi's base, his eco's even more and more idle. He's had 2 hours of idle time this game, and he's barely been over 40 eco, it feels like. As Sitaux adds a mangonel to defend from the ram, so the ram can't push him any further. The church can't push him any further. Sitaux will add some more navy as well to push on water. And Vivi has got to be dead at this point. He's lost his relics, so he doesn't even have that to work with. And he's just sitting here dropping another church. How many churches will he drop before he realizes you do need something more than this? But he has no gold. Like, he has no gold and no stone. All he has is wood. So you could just build churches. That's literally it. So as pathetic as it kind of looks, that's all he could really try. And it's all because Sitaux was able to get that castle down. That was a really nice build from Sitaux. And again, it's just Sitaux is able to find the killer timings. He was able to do it here. And Sitaux wins 2-1. So, well played. So this doesn't mean he's first place, but Sitaux actually went undefeated in the group stage in terms of sets. He went 5-0 in sets, which logic would tell you should mean he gets first. But Mihai could still sneak it from him. There's the resources collected. The big thing was the stone and gold. Pretty cut and dry game. I still do think that Vivi is just a menace of a player, particularly in best of fives. He has a tendency to hang around. So depending on the matchup, if Vivi can get playoffs, no one's going to be excited to play him. All right. So let's look at the odds. We'll have a short break before the final series of the day, guys. But let's look at the odds and see what this means for the next set. But Viper wanting to go playoffs. We'll have Mihai wanting to get first place. I mean, the side story, of course, is Viper needs to survive as well. But things get a little bit easier for Viper to do that after Dark was able to do him a favor earlier on today. Let's just pull that up. So at the moment, here are the percentages. I think nothing changes massively here unless there's a 3-0 either side, right? Like if Viper wins 3-0... Yeah, so if Viper gets 2 wins, he's still fourth. If Viper wins 3-0, he goes third and goes into playoffs. If Viper were to win 2-1, he is still fourth place, and he's not in the playoffs. If Mihai wins 2-1, he is still second place. Vivi's still third, Viper's still fourth. But if Mihai were to win 3-0, you have Mihai go top of the group, Sitaux go second place, Vivi go third, Dragonstar go fourth, and then Viper gets relegated. So, yeah, 2-1s on either side. The results stay as is. 3-0 on either side, and we have a whole lot of change, man. So I know Dragonstar is going to be rooting for Mihai in a bit. But yeah, interesting group. I don't know. We'll see.